Good morning, everyone. Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is bright and early and it is cold and I am a bit nervous because I am out here waiting for a skid steerer to be delivered. So a skid steerer is a kind of a small tractor. I think it's a bobcat, the one that I'm getting. I am renting it for 2 days to kind of move a bunch of stuff around in my garden. And what am I doing? What am I doing here? Who am I? I wore my Carhartt hat to kind of like get in the mood and everything like that. But it came down to, I just had so much stuff I had to move. I figured I needed to learn how to drive one of these skid steers and then I can rent it. It's only about $200 a day to rent it. That's my plan. So no, I've never driven one of these before and I can't believe they're gonna let me drive it without, I feel like I need a license or something like that. But I have watched a ton of YouTube videos and then hopefully they'll give me a really good tutorial when they drop it off. And they did drop it off and I couldn't go pick it up with my truck because it was too heavy. The tow capacity on my truck wasn't high enough to be able to pick something like as big as this up, which I was kind of disappointed about, but it's okay. It wasn't too bad for them to deliver it. So anyway, I am waiting here for it to get delivered and then I'm going to start driving a tractor today. What was that, Shay?
Do you need driving lessons?
Nope. What do you think about that? Not too sure, huh? Okay, ready?
How do you get on?
You climb in like this.
What are you going to use it for?
To move all the wood chips.
Don't bump your head. That would be... I don't think your job should be a tractor.
fun. I am having a good day with this little bobcat here. It is not big. It's the S70, which is, I think it's the smallest one that Bobcat makes. And I'm really happy about that. Because it's so small, I feel comfortable driving it around. It did take some getting used to because the bucket goes up and down and tilts back and forth based on foot pedals and moving them with the foot pedals. So I had to kind of get used to those controls. But once I got used to it, I felt pretty good. I felt pretty confident. I didn't crash into anything, knock on wood. So that's a good thing. So I got a ton of stuff done. I've been working about 2 hours and I've got almost that whole wood chip pile moved, which is incredible. There are 3 kind of projects that I want to get done while I have this Bobcat rented here. I do have to tell you all, when I was in there, I was enjoying myself a lot and was thinking to myself, like, should I just buy one of these for myself? Should I just bite the bullet and purchase one and then I could use it whenever I want? But the more I was thinking about it, I don't have enough projects. Once I get these big projects done, I'm not going to have any need for it and it's going to be a total waste of money. So I will just keep renting it, which is nice. That I can rent it, but I did want to show you all this video just so that you all can see that it's pretty easy to drive. And if you want to rent it yourself, like if I can do it, you can do it basically. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you all the 3 projects that I want to get done while I have the Bobcat. Okay, so the first project is this big pile of wood chips that you all saw me getting rid of. So you can see I got most of it gone. The reason why I did that first is because it's in front of this dumpster right here. And that was my fault. So we rented a dumpster and I had them put it right here so that the boys, Isaac and Milo, who helped me out with big projects, they could scoop the dirt and the lava rocks that were from, let me turn the camera around, that were from this garden bed right here. That was like the top layer of junk from this garden bed. That was all in a pile over there and we had to get rid of it. So this is one of those dumpsters that you can put rocks and soil and debris and all that kind of stuff in. So the boys scooped all the stuff in by hand, which I'm really sorry, guys, if you're watching this. That was way, way too much work. And this is part of the reason why I decided to rent the skid steer, because I mean, like if I pay someone hourly to do this, it's like a total waste of time. I took care of this whole pile of wood chips in 2 hours by myself. So anyway, the dumpster company should be coming today to pick it up and empty it. And then you can see kind of back there, I have some more that I will fill up the dumpster in, so at least we can get rid of it. Then I want to work on the center island in between these flags. So in between these flags is where the dry creek bed's going to go. And I kind of want to scrape out. I can't scrape out too much because my leach field for my septic system is here. So I can't scrape out too far, but I do want to scrape some out, and then I'll leave whatever I scrape out right here. This is going to be a little mounded area where a gazebo is going to go on. So I'm going to use the skid steer to start scraping that out, see how I do with that. And then over here in the orchard, I do have this pathway laid out with flags as well. And this is my goal for January, to get this pathway installed, at least in the orchard, which is, I'm technically counting it from here all the way over to there. And I would be really, really happy if I got my pathways in by the end of January. But I'm not going to be too hard on myself if it doesn't happen. You know, it's just kind of a goal. So if I can scrape out those pathways, then I can start I'm going to lay down some really heavy duty landscape fabric. I'm going to do metal edging on either side, which I'm really excited about. And then I'm going to do decomposed granite. And I think that will look really, really pretty. So I'm going to start over here because I feel like I have more room over here with the skid steer. So at least I can start off with that. And then this is a little bit more fine-tuned for the tractor. So I will come here next after I get a little bit more comfortable. If you all are wondering what this island of white is right here, this is a garden fail. It was my fault. I wasn't thinking clearly. I got some potting mix delivered and I was thinking, oh, it's like planting mix. It's no big deal, right? And I put the extra that I had, I just threw it out into the garden, not thinking that as it rained, all the perlite was going to come to the top and it was going to look like this. So when you see the white here, This is a sea of perlite from the potting mix that I put here. I don't think it's gonna harm anything. I think it's totally fine, but that's kind of what you see. So as soon as I get some mulch and cover it, we won't have to look at the sea of perlite anymore. So anyway, I'm gonna move on to this area next while I wait for them to come and empty the dumpster. So let's go. Okay, it is almost 4 o'clock and I think I'm done for the day. I have been working on this thing, I think since 9:30 this morning. So I think I'm done. I made a complete mess of my entire yard. Let me turn the camera around and show you all. So let me start off in the orchard because there's not much to show in the orchard. So this did not work out well because the bobcat kept getting stuck. Look at this. Look at what an absolute mess I made. So I started scraping and I was doing good. And then I thought, oh, I better check to make sure I can get out of here. And I turned and I was so stuck. My phone ran out of batteries. I film on my phone, and so it was like I didn't even get on film, which is probably a good thing, honestly. So I tried one more spot over here to see if it would be better over here, and it was the same thing. It was kind of scary. So it didn't really work here in the orchard. So I think we will be doing this by hand, and we are just scraping out everything in between the flags so that we can lay down the pathway, the decomposed granite pathway. So not much happened in the orchard. I was probably in the orchard for maybe like 20 minutes. Where I spent the majority of my day is over here in the center island. And what I was doing is I was scraping out the area that I'm going to put my dry creek bed, which is basically just like a divot, or like a where you would imagine a creek, but there's no water. It's just rocks. And I actually did pretty good. I feel like I made a lot of progress here. The problem is that there was landscape fabric, like deep down. So over here, when I started planting over here, there's no landscape fabric over here. And I've dug a couple holes over here, no landscape fabric. So I thought it was just way over on that side, but there's definitely landscape fabric all over here. So I don't know if you guys can see that. There's roots growing through the landscape fabric. Basically, it's so old that it's it's just keeping all the roots together, basically, and making the roots stronger. So I was basically peeling it back with the bobcat. I don't know if you could see that in the video. So I think what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to come out with a utility knife and start cutting the landscape fabric into strips so that I can throw it away, and then the bobcat can scrape off the rest of the dirt. So hopefully you all can see what I'm talking about. Let's see, it goes from here. This is the mound where the gazebo is going to go, and then the dry creek bed comes all the way down here, and then I made it to about there, and then I started it on the other side, and then I got tired and finished. So you can kind of see where this is. So this is going to be filled with rocks, and then I'm going to plant everywhere else. So I'm pretty happy with this. Like I said, it looks like an absolute mess right now, but I'm getting somewhere. Then you can see here, I got almost all of the wood chip pile done. I don't know why I stopped. I got bored, I think is what it is. So I have to finish the rest of that wood chip pile. And then you can see the dumpster is still here and full. And so I called the dumpster company, and they lost my appointment. I don't know how you say it. They're supposed to come pick it up every 2 weeks, and it's been 2 weeks, and they didn't have me on the schedule, which I'm so frustrated because the earliest they can come out is next Tuesday, and I won't have the skid steer anymore. So, gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'll just have to rent the skid steer again, which is such a bummer because this was the main reason why I was renting the skid steer. But it's my fault because I should have called to confirm. But every other time we've gotten a dumpster, I haven't had to do that. Oh well, no big deal. So then back here in the backyard, you can see my pile of wood chips where I moved it back here. This is going to be really easy to rake out, but of course I didn't want to do that while I have the skid steer here because I should be using the skid steer. So, we will get this done later. And by we, I mean myself and then Milo and Isaac, the two gentlemen who helped me. So this is just going to be spread out, and it's just for mulch. It's just for ground cover. I don't have to worry about it being fresh wood chips or anything like that because I'm not planting anything underneath it. But it was nice because it was free. So yeah, so that is what I got done today. I would say the most important thing I got done today was learn how to drive the Bobcat. Now that I feel comfortable driving it, I feel good. I feel like now in the future, anytime I have a project where I need something like that, I'm going to feel good and I'm going to feel confident about renting it and driving it. So it's a good day. I'm going to do more tomorrow, but you all aren't going to see that because I have to post this video for tomorrow. So I think I am going to do a January garden tour next week. So I'll give you guys an update during that garden tour of everything that we got done tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.